Good evening. We're back, Black family. It's been a week since we've been on, but we're back with a brand new episode. This is season 2, episode 10 of the Front Line Blacc News. And I'm your host, Chan Krummer. I'm joined by my other host, Lady Che. And we have our guests tonight, Shabaka Sankori of Shabaka's Black Experience Enhanced, of which I am the co-host of, and our anchorman, Ramel Understanding, who is a political prisoner in the Carl State Mental Hospital. And we will be discussing several things tonight. Of course, the first thing, which is a staple here on Frontline Blacc News, is Tangibles 2022. The next thing is the bacc Subway Shooter Indicted. The Buffalo, New York mass shooting. Houston, Texas mass shooting. Milwaukee, Wisconsin mass shooting. New black spokesperson for the White House, Karine Jean-Pierre. Decade of Doom event here in Denver. Unhoused neighbor news and unhoused neighbor sweeps. So I'll get us started. This is the decade of tangibles. We are demanding something tangible for our vote. So any politician that is seeking our vote, including myself, because I have officially filed for mayor as of last month, and the campaign is underway. And
yes, sir.
Even myself, who is seeking your vote, demand something tangible for your vote, Black family. Stop just voting just to be voting. Stop just voting because the white-owned media told you to go vote. Vote because you have an agenda, a cause, and a reason, and you're going to get something tangible for that vote. Otherwise, don't bother, Black family. The midterms are coming up. They want us to go turn out like we did for Obama, and that's not going to happen, Black family. We are demanding something tangible for our vote. The days are over of us just voting just to be voting. If any politician wants your vote, they're going to have to do something tangible for you, period. So that is what Tangibles 2022 is about. I was going to bring it up to our new viewers who haven't seen it yet. So let me share my screen. Here we go. Tangibles 2020. So back in 2020, a brother by the name of Tariq Nasheed came up with the hashtag Tangibles 2020. And we've been pushing this far and wide for the past 2 years to the point now it's Tangibles 2022. But it reads, and we can change it to make it appear to be this year, would be 2022. The midterms are coming up, and foundational Black Americans are going to reject the 50-year malign neglect policy that has been implemented by the political system. This malign neglect policy mandates that Black Americans should be ignored and only mentioned in vague and non-specific terms. Lumping foundational Black Americans into groups with minorities, immigrants, people of color, etc., has only hindered the progress of Black Americans as a group while providing tangible benefits for other groups. In this midterm cycle, Black Americans are going to insist that our needs are specifically met by politicians who are seeking our votes. Foundational Black Americans want tangible benefits. Specifically for us, we do not want trickle-down, secondary benefits that are provided for every group. Every group has not been systematically marginalized and disenfranchised in every area of society as foundational Black Americans. So we refuse to be lumped in with groups that often assist in the exploitation and disenfranchisement of Black Americans. So politicians must offer tangibles, specifically the foundational Black Americans, or we simply will not vote for them. Be sure to spread this message far and wide on social media using the hashtag Tangibles2020. So, Black,
Indeed.
that is what we've been doing for the past 2 years. Thoughts on Tangibles 2022?
Yes, sir. My thoughts is on that is because here in the state of California, it's come to my attention in my absence is that they did have a reparations situation here for those, of African descent, American descendants of slavery. But you have to prove your lineage to slavery, and I damn sure could prove mine. Okay.
Right.
And it's because both my great great grandparents were born in or around Montgomery, Alabama. They
Mhm.
slaved on the plantation. Then what happened was they had one, two, three, four children. Okay. Two of them had moved up to the city of Chicago. And then I had an ancestor that had a wife and five kids in Chicago, and he had a wife and 10 kids in Boston, Massachusetts, and he was a porter working the railroads. And now, do let me say this right here. Once again, Hollywood, you made a film called The Porter.
Mm.
When in the hell are you going to make films about us seeking our own liberation? When are you
Oh,
going
they'll
to
never
make
do
films?
that. Yeah,
Well, of
president
course
will
not. Of course not. Yeah, that's the point that I'm making. And once again, and from the bottom of our hearts to all you executive producers up there at Universal
never.
Music Group, also to Warner Brothers Paramount Pictures, which is located at 5555 West Melrose Avenue. Hell, I might do my live feed in front of your damn place. You all can kiss my ass and go to hell. And
Mhm.
you know the infamous two words. The first letter starts with the letter F, and the second word starts with the letter Y. And we mean this wholeheartedly from
From
the
the
bottom of
bottom of
our hearts. And we mean it most sincerely. And either one of you scandalous ass no good scrubs is welcome to call the number 516-418. 5996. And then also to all you buying supporters, we know you had your heads bumped. We know you've been had. We don't hate you. If anything, we feel sorry for you. And you need to voice on our platforms here at Frontline Black News, your disappointment. Really, your disappointment. Support Brother Che, Brother Jesse Parrish for Mayor of Denver, Colorado. And if necessary, I will come to the state of Colorado and I will take up temporary residence, so therefore I could vote for Brother Che or to qualify to get an absentee ballot. You see, and he is the only one that I'm voting for. And also to Karen Bass. So we're hearing that you're running for mayor of Los Angeles and you got some dirt up under your rugs. That little short fat fuck, Mark
Mark.
Ridley Thomas. Yeah, you're garbage as well too. And this is definitely proving the point of when somebody tries to crawl out a barrel of bullshit, another one is going to come up there and pull them back down. And you, Mr. Thomas, are full of shit, is because I heard something else about your sorry stinking ass. And then also, too, I have visited Compton, California recently, and it's full of potholes. Street maintenance is non existent. And then, of course, as we do know, this is the place where Venus and Serena Williams were reared,
Yeah.
and we definitely want to give a shout out there to their father, Richard Williams, is because I saw some of the movie where he was portrayed by Will Smith,
Hmm.
and they gave Will Smith the Academy Awards. Also, too, Chris Rock has decided not to file charges against Mr. Smith
Hmm.
is because the LAPD did state, in fact, that was definitely an ADW, and all they need is Mr. Rock to file charges, and they will issue a warrant for Mr. Smith's arrest. But he declined to do it. And keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, that when it comes to a murderous ass organization called the Los Angeles Police Department, they have no bones about kicking you off of the planet.
Right.
The LAPD was the one that invented SWAT, that is now used by every major law enforcement agent. And then to the spirit of Captain Jesse Brewer, who came up with the idea of the special weapons and terrorism team, go fuck yourself.
Right.
Okay, and the same thing to you too, Uncle Tom Bradley, where when the LAPD had beat the shit out of Rodney King over 30 years ago, and you come up there with a bunch of good nip, good nop, and pacifying, yassa bossing, ass scratching, and what have you, fuck your spirit too, you know. And then also too, I want to give a recognition to Elaine Brown, who ran for the Oakland City Council in 1973. And up on her wall, she did post up a lot of the brethren that did make the ultimate sacrifice in our liberation. And then, too, as you always hear people saying to U.S. military, thank you for your service. Has anybody came up with the idea to thank all those, in the NOI, in the BPP, with the Marcus Garvey movement, the Pan-African movement, the freedom fighters over there, in Azania, and Julius Malima's crew, also to Brother Patrice Lumumba. Anybody thank them for their service and their sacrifice?
No, but salute to the
Uh-huh.
Liberation Army.
Oh, indeed. Okay, it's because I've came across information. Oh, and by the way, yeah, Sundiata Acoli has been paroled.
Oh, wow.
At the age of 86.
Wow.
Jesus Christ.
Okay, and for those who are not familiar with Mr. Acoli, he was with the Queen Mother in the New Jersey Turnpike situation, where the Queen Mother was falsely accused of murdering a police officer. And how could that be when she herself was shot herself?
Yeah.
Okay, alrighty. Just like the situation there with Dr. Newton in Oakland, California, where they had accused him of killing an Oakland police officer, but how was he able to do that when he himself was shot? So, this shit don't add up. You know what I'm saying? Once again, pissing on our heads, telling us it's rain, having us going for prepackaged bullshit. And then, of course, blessed be the soul of Mama Africa, Sister Miriam Makeba, who was also to the wife of Hugh Masekela and Brother Kwame Ture. As we all know, she transitioned early in the 21st century. And I will always put her music up on my wall. You know what I mean? And there was a video that she did, I believe, at a jazz festival where she had her whole family up there, who were her musicians, her sons and grandchildren, and what have you. So we definitely, wish the Makeba family well and come back, with some more of the music. I'm going to get it. I'm going to play it. And then, of course, there have been those when I do post up on my wall, the African Sunset and Amapando, if I'm pronouncing it correctly, is because I do believe that Ms. Makeba was Kosa. And as you know, in that language, they speak in a lot of the cliques and what have you, you see. So another thing I'm going to advocate as well, too, before my demise in my final years, is that we pick up our African dialects once again.
Yeah.
Most definitely. Pick up our African dialect. So therefore, if you got a child of African descent, instead of him learning French and Belgian and that other bullshit, you know what I'm saying? Have him learn some Xhosa. Have him learn some Fulani. Have him learn Swahili, which is mainly speaking in East Africa, and I forgot the name of the language that they speak in Ethiopia, and then also too, to those out there, and General Ramel and myself, we have discussed this. is that the Hebrew Israelites and the Moors, we all do know that that is World War III.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm asking, those brothers there, to please try to make peace, is because when you're in the city of Los Angeles and they see 4 black males riding in a car, they are not going to give a good goddamn if you're an Israelite, if you're a Muslim, if you are Ashanti, or if you're Fulani, Zulu, Sutu, or what have you. Okay. And the only thing they're going to say when they stop that vehicle is we got 4 black male Negroes.
Yeah.
Period. Period. They're not going to kick.
Let's hear from the anchor man.
Indeed,
What are your
indeed.
thoughts on Tangibles 2022?
Peace is Ramon saying the angel peace from the east, understanding the student in the neighborhood. You bring them to the hope as the official frontline campaign. Salute to the fallen soldiers. What I think is, when I think about tangibles, I think about truth. And what I think is that there's a lot of misinformation going around. I think that the chains of slavery have gone off our physical composition and have been put onto our mental composition.
Absolutely.
And what it has done to our people is made them dumb, deaf, and blind.
Yes, sir.
They can't. They don't see nor hear nor evil. They don't know what's really going on, and they can't see. That evil hand that's moving around, lurking, doing the most. Otherwise known as the white man. The devil. And I just think that if you are going to demand tangibles, demand truth. Because there's nothing more tangible than the truth itself. And I'm just tired of being lied to about this COVID shit.
Right.
I don't understand how all this money can go to Ukraine when there's people here in America.
Right.
Yeah.
Living under bridges.
Yeah.
Cold. Hungry.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't understand how that's even possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So don't tell me some bullshit, some misinformation talking about they need us and all this other shit when the people who are in need are right here in America. And don't tell me that we can't do nothing for people here with the woo when I see you giving billions upon millions of dollars to the Ukraine people and they ain't got nothing to do with none of us.
Right. Nothing.
So stop telling me about the American dream because I know it's the American scheme.
Oh, indeed.
And the reason I think they don't want to help people in America come out of that condition of homelessness and poverty is because they know that feeds the very system that's making them rich. Those government officials and all that, they feed off the poor man, the homeless man, who has to resort to crime in order to live his life. You see what I'm saying? And to continue living, you know what I mean? So, I just think that when it comes to tangibles, it has to be based on truth. Because that's the only thing that's tangible. That's the only gift you could give me is truth. And truth that I could see, truth that I could view with my own eyes and see that it's real. I remember George Bush, he always used to say, no new taxes, right? And then the first thing the motherfucker did was put taxes in and all kind of fucked up shit. You know what I mean? And that's when I was young, but I still remember those kind of politics and those kind of politicians. So I'm just saying, if we're going to demand tangible, let's demand truth. Let's kind of like gear toward spreading truth. Such truth that will free the minds of those who are dumb, deaf, and blind, that they don't know no better. There's a lot of people, they don't know much about their own history, and if you don't know about your own history, you're going to fall victim to another person's twistery, and trickery. That is, So I just think that we need to, whatever camp you from, whether it's a Moor, whether it's Hebrew Israelite, whether it's Nation of Islam, 5%, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, use that information, use that truth to free your people to the best of your ability. That's
absolutely.
That's the ammo. You know, your mind is your gun. You know what I mean? And
exactly.
And the truth is the ammo. You know what I mean? So it's like, you know, this is a different arena that we're in now. You know, I understand that we all wanna pick up a gun and go do some ill shit and go fight the war on the front line and all that, but it's not that kind of war. Now it's a war of the mind. And, you know, everything stems from the mind, everything is born from the mind, and everything happens from the mind, and it happens in due time. So be patient, people. You know, I know that we want revolution because I'm for the revolution, but the revolution comes with some evolution and some gradual growth, development, and just elevation. So, you know, elevate your mind, look past the bullshit, and seek tangible things in the world and see tangible things from your politicians. That's all I'm going to say. Thank you for your time.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Ramel.
Indeed.
On to our next topic, and that is the Brooklyn subway shooter indicted, or he pleads not guilty to federal terrorist charge, deemed confident to stand trial. Hold on. All right, so I'm gonna play the video for fair use. YouTube. I'll start that bull crap. This is for content purposes. And I have to scroll, so don't start that.
Valley Bank, committed to giving local businesses the power to succeed. For over 90 years, Valley has supported business owners in our communities, offering a variety of small business accounts and services, including specialty finance.
Hold on.
Okay.
Wait for the stupid ad.
Yeah, that's that bullshit. Yeah.
Okay, it's almost over. Okay, so.
In the subway was arraigned today in Brooklyn federal court.
Last month, Frank
Suspect behind the mass shooting in the subway was arraigned today in Brooklyn federal court.
Last month, Frank James allegedly set off smoke grenades before firing a gun and injuring more than 24 people during morning rush hour. CBS 2's Alice Gaynor was in the courtroom and has more on what James told the judge.
During the manhunt for Frank James himself called Crime Stoppers to let them know his whereabouts in the East Village. Friday in court, he entered a plea of not guilty. He's facing charges of terrorist attack and other violence against a mass transportation system carrying passengers and discharging a firearm during a crime of violence.
Can you explain his plea of not guilty? He suggested he wanted to be caught, but can you explain his plea of not guilty? No comment, guys.
The judge asked the 62-year-old how he was doing today, to which he responded, pretty good. He also gave his educational background, which included public school in the Bronx. I have a GED. I have some certificates from various trade schools. He said he understood the charges against him and was deemed competent to stand trial. On April 12th, it's alleged James set off smoke bombs and shot multiple passengers on an N subway train in Sunset Park, Brooklyn during the morning rush hour commute. More than 24 people were injured. No one was killed. Prior to the mass shooting, James posted rants on social media and YouTube, some notably about subway crime. According to investigators, James crossed state lines with a bag of weapons, including hatchets, pepper spray, fireworks, and gas canisters, and did a practice run the day before the attack to make sure the weapons worked properly. Frank James remains detained without bail. A status hearing on the case will be held July 25th. If convicted, he could spend the rest of his life behind bars. Outside of Brooklyn Federal Court, Alice Gaynor, CBS 2 News.
The rest of his life behind bars. He didn't even kill anybody.
In New Jersey.
He didn't kill anybody. What the hell?
All right. Okay. What I'm going to say, in my opinion, on this is because I heard bits and pieces of this story. Okay, generally you see white folks doing this type of shit. Okay, now the first thing that's coming to my mind is if this man has been extorted by the powers that be to do this bullshit. I'm just putting that out there. Okay. Or maybe he is fucked up in the head or whatever and did this. But however, let's look at the insanity of where they used to take our people, lynch them, castrate them, and burn them, and have picnics, as in, excuse the expression, pick a nigga, you know what I mean? Or maybe this brother is fucked up in the head, and maybe the stress and pressure being black, caught up with him in America, and he just snapped.
I tried to blame the new black media for him doing this.
Oh, really? Okay, now here we go. Okay. All righty. For those of you who are not black, and when you check out our platforms, you have to understand, we really don't give a good goddamn about your history, okay, or what your turmoils or whatever. Hey, that is your issue. We have our own issues that we have to deal with. And as the man said, Tangibles 2022 and the other groups, you have to go out there and hold your own nuts. The day of the ass scratcher, the Yasa boss, we sick. Oh, Master, you been so good. Master Charlie, we got to love you. That bullshit is over with.
Over.
This shit is diabolical. And I go up here and buy some gas for a vehicle 2 days ago, and they charged $6.06 for a gallon of gas for the cheap shit.
Holy shit.
The cheap shit now. I say, and high and by and all, there ain't nothing I could do for it. And then these ignorant, brain dead ass Negroes, man, vote Democrat. Here's what I say.
Vote, no matter who.
Yeah, hey, let the orange man come back, because one thing about the orange man, and I ain't advocating for that sick son of a bitch, at least he was honest about how he felt. And I'd much rather deal with a motherfucker who's telling me that he hates my goddamn guts as opposed to a hater sitting up there trying to piss on my head and tell me it's rain.
Yeah.
That way you know how to deal with this son of a bitch. Yeah, that way you know how to deal with this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? And then on top of it as well, too, information I came across over at Black Thoughts and Theory, the founder of that platform there that has come to my attention, Alex Primo has passed away.
Wow.
And our condolences go to his family. But however, I must speak this truth, is that I started podcasting with Black Thoughts and Theory, and then when I invited Mad Dr. D, who was a stroke victim, and may he rest in power as well too, to come on the platform and talk, they're going to tell me for me to get rid of Mad Dr. D and to stay with them. And then, of course, as we all know what really went down, Mad Dr. D had started Shabaka's Black Experience Enhanced, because that platform would not have been possible without the one and only Mad Dr. D. But however, though, Mr. Primo, or Lex, as you refer to yourself as, our condolences definitely go to your family. You know what I mean? And also, too, we need to emphasize Black family. If we're going to disagree, please let us disagree. Agree. Okay, it's because all of us are under a lot of stress and pressure. All of us, got issues within ourselves, issues with our loved ones, and what have you. And it only takes we're at the point now, folks, where the straw's about to break the camel's back. Okay, now when all you other groups come out there talking about we need to sing Kumbaya, and you talk about your potato famine in Ireland, and then go ahead, Facebook, go suspend me for another 30 days. I don't give a fuck about the potato famine. I don't give a fuck about any other groups except us, because we cannot do a goddamn thing for you until we take care of ourselves, because the Black community in the diaspora, here domestically on the continent, we are in a state of emergency. And the sad part about it is that 85% of our people don't even realize that the damn emergency exists, and that's what makes it even more of a travesty.
Yeah.
I do want
to see?
Lady Che got something to add.
I do want to say,
yes, ma'am.
So, this dude, when he did that, you know, he had lost his job and he'd been suffering through all kind of mental health stuff, and he tried to get help, and he just couldn't get no help. You know, they didn't want to help him, and all he wanted to do was go back to work. And it was just like one of those things that just kept building up, and you know, he couldn't get himself together because he couldn't get the help he needed, you know, emotionally, and you know, wound up snapping, you know, I guess. And I do want to point that out, is that's a serious thing. It's not like the dude in Buffalo, you know. This is like a real life brother who said, "Hey man, I tried to get help. I tried to get back to work. I tried to do this. I tried, and nobody wanted to help me. And you know, I just see my city just going to hell, and I just couldn't handle it no more, you know." And for to be facing so much, when this little white boy is gonna get a fucking slap on the wrist and probably get a fucking, you know, sponsorship, and I don't know what else after that, you know, it's gonna be fucking ridiculous, really ridiculous.
Wow.
Because he didn't kill nobody. The black dude didn't kill nobody. He might have terrorized everybody. He didn't kill no one. And this white kid, you know, he killed like 10 people.
Oh yes, he did.
10 black people.
Yeah, so under the hypocrisy of the legal system, he's supposed to be charged with a hate crime and all this old type of bullshit. But once again, I saw on another media platform, and if it's not associated with us or Blackistan or Jonathan Born Knowledge or Front Line Blacc News or what have you, we're not going to mention their name, but is that they showed video of him going in there where he shot a white dude, I guess by mistake, and he sits up there and tells the dude he's sorry.
Oh yeah, he says he's sorry to that dude and just carried on.
Right, and just carried on. And once again, in our group psychology, and I think they call it sociology, is that we got to know how to respond to situations when we are targeted, you know, simply because of who we are. Brother Malcolm is gone. May he rest in power. Brother Huey is gone. May he rest in power. The Honorable Marcus Messiah Garvey is gone. May he rest in power. But Black family, we must take their knowledge and their notes, okay? And we got to build on it. You know, just as the Queen Mother had stated in her documentary, Eye of the Rainbow, that I cannot go before our ancestors not knowing I did not do my best, you know, to lay some type of foundation or pass down truthful knowledge to the generations after me.
Right. So I'm going to get us to the article now. This is from ABC News. It says, Buffalo supermarket mass shooting. What we need to know about the alleged gunman. Peyton S. Gendron appears to have been motivated by hate, law enforcement said. Okay, so I'm going to play the video.
Emerging overnight about that 18-year-old suspect. ABC's Aaron Katersky continues our coverage. Aaron, good morning to you.
Eva, good morning. We know that Peyton Gendron was not from Buffalo, but he arrived heavily armed, intent on killing Black people.
Yes, sir. And the family charges.
New York State Police and the FBI spent the night searching Gendron's family home in Conklin, a 3.5-hour drive from the Buffalo supermarket where police said Gendron carried out a racially motivated hate crime.
We are investigating this incident as both a hate crime and a case of racially motivated violent extremism.
Of the 13 people shot, 11 are Black, and law enforcement sources told ABC News Gendron appears to have possessed extremist beliefs cultivated online.
There are certain pieces of evidence that we have ascertained in the course of this investigation that indicate some racial animosity.
Investigators say they're pouring through a 180-page document believed to be authored by the suspect that details a fixation with white supremacy, the weapons he could use to kill Black people, and his intent to live stream the attack. There's also a lengthy rant about replacement theory, a racist idea that white people are being replaced by people of color.
We will not stop until every lead is investigated Every piece of evidence is analyzed, and until we understand how and why this horrible tragedy and crime occurred.
Now, according to authorities, it was last June when a high school near his home reported to police that Gendron had threatened a shooting at graduation. No charges were ever filed. In this case, at least for now, Gendron is charged with a single count of murder, but it's likely he's going to face federal hate crimes and terrorism charges. Janae.
Aaron, thank you so much for that update. Now to more detailed.
Okay, if I may comment, Brother Trey.
Go ahead.
Okay, this shit that we just saw right here. Okay, if white America was really serious about what they're saying, that he was racially motivating and attacking all that, they would have decorated the streets with this motherfucker's brains before they put the handcuffs on him. So that right there alone, and this is just my opinion, proves is that white America, through their silence, endorsed what this individual did. Straight up.
It's beautiful truth, though. He had the best one.
Just like old shit in the house, who went through Milwaukee, hell been intent, well, I want to go protect property from these rioters, And then just like when they lit this motherfucker up 30 years ago called Los Angeles, California, hey, they're talking about the Koreans were being targeted and all this old type of shit. And I'm of the opinion, boom, of the opinion, that a lot of these Korean merchants were burning that shit down and getting the goddamn insurance money.
Yeah. So he wrote a 180-page manifesto.
Right.
Pull it up, but they're taking people's videos down for pulling it up. But he basically was saying that white people are being replaced by black people, and that it's white genocide, and it's basically his duty to do this because he's white, and this shit about replacement theory.
Numbers were going down, not enough breeding, and
not enough white people being born.
Yep.
Okay, well, this here once again goes to show us what Minister Malcolm has spoke about over 60 years ago, what the heavyweight champion of the 1960s had stated. Just like when they murdered little Bobby Hutton on Center Street, which is not too far from the mural that they paid tribute to the Black Panther Party that Brother Che had brought to my attention when I was up there in Panthertown, and I went straight to it. And then to find out that Dr. Newton was murdered across the street from this location. Okay. What it is, Black. No, I'm sorry. Say that again, Lady Che.
Put a link to the booklet in the chat. You're just not going to talk about it out loud.
Yeah, exactly.
180-page long read is in the chat.
Oh, yeah. And then also, too, dude, let me say here, to all those individuals out there that talk that bullshit that we're all the same and all that, as I put up on my wall, let the summer begin with summer madness. And guess what? Los Angeles is getting ready to get hit with a heat wave. And for those of you who think we are the same, please, when you go to the beach, or better yet, go to the fucking desert, and please forget your sunscreen on purpose. And this will prove our premise in about 30 minutes, I think, or less, that we are not the same. And I can go right out there in that same damn location I've done before in the course of my time of being here on Earth, and I'm yet to experience sunburn. And keep in mind is that the low desert gets much hotter than the high desert. Now, for those of you in the Mile High City, you can relate to this. Okay, you guys are at 5280 above sea level, right?
Yep.
Palm Springs is 5280 below sea level.
My summer skin color right now is the color of Skippy.
And then, of course, with the melon.
Nice peanut butter color going on right now.
Okay, and then with the melon, melanin in us, okay, that they will enhance it. And then also, too, if some of our, African queens will go out there and put on, not a sunscreen, but what was it? It's because I've seen it years ago where some of the sisters that went out there and they put something on their skin and that blackness has just got more and more enhanced. And oh my. Oh my, it just got more and more enhanced. No blistering, no peeling of the skin. It's just that melanin got more and more richer in them. You know what I'm saying? And this is why the black woman, is so hypnotically beautiful and got the attributes that she has. As it was explained to me from a sister in Ethiopia, she said it was the gift from the ancestors.
Yes.
And she will get no argument from me.
Shout out to our viewers.
Yeah, and
So-
definitely. And do we have anybody in our chat room? Do we got who was that there? General Ramel Agent who?
Agent Clipper.
Yeah, Agent Clipper. So Agent Clipper, if you're out there, get your homies, tune in, leave us some insults, negative comments and what have you. Or if you sorry sick fucks decide to have some goddamn sense and leave something positive, hey, we'll recognize you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We don't hate you. We feel sorry for your stupid ass. But if you're going to come up to us and think you're going to beat us and we're going to sing Kumbaya, then you got us fucked up.
Seriously.
Period. Because it's your God-given right. It's your manly right, your human right to defend yourself. The Almighty gave every living creature a means of self-defense. Even with the gazelle. What's his defense? His speed. You know what I'm saying? His speed. His agility. Because that cat could be going 100 miles an hour, man, and will switch 180 degrees on a dime at high speed. You know what I'm saying? The elephant. What's his defense? Well, you ain't going to argue with him. He going to sit up there, look at you like you crazy, and he'll just simply just sit up there and stomp your ass. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Same thing with the Panther. To quote the Minister of Defense, he's a defensive fighter.
So at the funeral, oh Lord, guess who was at the funeral?
Who?
Al Sharpton and Ben Crump.
Them ambulance chasing ass tricks. Oh man, them dudes and that bullshit. Okay, well of course we appreciate them showing up, but of course, their motives are well known, and of course our hearts go out there to the families of the loved ones, who are going through it. And
what they had to say.
Who, Al Sharpton and Crumb Bomb?
Yeah.
Okay, let's look at their propaganda and their bullshit. And then also to those of you
Deacon Haywood Patterson and the 3-year-old son of Andre McNeil. We will be with
And you left behind 5 kids. And his youngest 3-year-old, and he keeps thinking his father is asleep. His father is gone. He won't even know his father.
Thank you. Where's
Okay. They can't replace her either. I need this violence to stop. We need to fix this, and we need to fix it now. This is my son, Jakey was Patterson.
Oh,
He's
man.
12 years old.
Fix it.
And
We're at war.
His
the hell are you talking about?
He will grow up.
Oh man.
Fatherless. He has to live.
I'm
even
just tripping
after
out
this.
when people are making these speeches. They're not really crying.
What it is we have to return the force, black family. That's the only way that these motherfuckers are gonna understand.
Period.
Okay? because you can only kick a dog so many times.
Right.
You see. And then, of course, certain knowledges that they don't want us having. And the more reason to homeschool our children and take them up out the goddamn public indoctrination centers.
Oh, and it just came to my attention, Black family. There was another shooting in Buffalo.
What? Another shooting?
Yep, another one that says 3 arrested after Pearl Street shooting. BPD orders restaurant closure.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Read this real quick. Buffalo, New York. 3 people were arrested following an early Saturday morning shooting outside a restaurant on Pearl Street. Buffalo police said officers responded to a call around 2 a.m. on Pearl Street near West Chippewa Street. The shooting occurred at Senor Tequila Mexican restaurant, and BPD has ordered the immediate closure of the restaurant, reporting that multiple incidents have occurred at the location in the past. According to detectives, the suspects shot at a vehicle, hitting a 25-year-old woman inside. Shots repeatedly also hit a 23-year-old man who was not in the vehicle. Both victims were taken to ECMC. Kyle Minkins, 23, Dalton Edge Jr., 24 of Buffalo, were arrested in connection with the shooting. They have been charged with attempted murder, assault in the second degree, criminal possession of a weapon, and reckless endangerment. Nikki Lofton, 24, was arrested at the scene as police have found a possession of a loaded ghost gun. What is going on in Buffalo, y'all?
Did it say, is that a video? Are they?
We're handling a racially motivated graffiti case that our agencies were handling in the town of Niagara. First, I want to let you know who's up here behind me. Lieutenant Jeff Spears from the town of Niagara Police Department, Officer Alex Wagner from the town of Niagara Police Department, Lieutenant Colin Sweeney from the New York State Police, Investigator Don Ganand from the New York State Police, Special Agent in Charge Stephen Bologna from the FBI, Brian Seaman, the Niagara County District Attorney, Susan Bjornholm, Assistant District Attorney from the DA's office, and Lieutenant Barrett Geisler from the Sheriff's office. On Monday, May 14th, at approximately 7 a.m., a resident in the 47th block of John Street called to report a criminal mischief to their fence. The town of Niagara police responded to investigate the crime. It was discovered that a large racial statement had been painted on the fence. It said, "Kill all," followed by a racial expletive.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that.
Painted in all black letters on the homeowner's fence.
It's something else.
It should be noted that the residence there is occupied by a black family.
Mm.
Town of Niagara police were instrumental in gathering evidence and information relevant to the case during their initial investigation. The Sheriff's Office Criminal Investigation Bureau was contacted to assist in that investigation. For the last 5 days, our Criminal Bureau, along with the New York State Bureau of Criminal Investigation and the Federal Bureau of Investigation, they've worked together on this case. After much effort and good work on their part, an arrest was made today of Howard J. Murphy.
Yeah, that's something else. It's not what we read. But yeah, that's equally just as bad. Equally just as bad.
Okay. All right. The time has come. We don't have no choice now. Okay. And I'm advocating on this platform right here. It's time for all our children. It's time for every black man, woman, and child to start going to the pistol ranges.
Period.
Because this shit ain't gonna stop until we make it stop. I mean, the minister told us this over 60 years ago.
Yeah.
And they want us to sit up here to be forgiven. They want us to sit up there, sing Kumbaya and all that. That shit is over, black family.
Yes.
That shit is over. Now, with me being an old bastard, okay, I'm going to have to try to get back what left I can back off in shape, either to run, snatch something, you know what I'm saying, and what have you, because right now, Black family, everything is hurting. Sciatica, hands, you know what I mean, and what have you. So take care of yourself while you're young, and we got to get our children up out of these damn public indoctrination centers, is because this proved, as Dr. King said, we are in a burning house with this integration.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We really are. And then as far as the kumbaya-ites, the house niggas and what have you, the time has come, we got to turn our backs on y'all.
Yep.
Because what will happen is, with that shackle on their brain, they can get the rest of us killed. Okay? They really can. You know. Now, for those of you who are not Black or not of African descent, this does not mean that we hate you. This does not mean that we despise you. What this means is that you motherfuckers now have become a virus, worser than corona, worser than the measles, worser than the swine flu.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And now, unless you white people go out here and start knocking these motherfuckers off your goddamn selves, we have no choice but to defend ourselves.
Yeah.
Period. We have no choice now. I mean, and my question is, this son of a bitch, what's his name? Gendron, Stepdon, or whatever, Drown, or whatever. Did they take him to Burger King and McDonald's to get his Happy Meal, you know?
Knowing them, they probably did.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to be funny.
He got the Dylan Roof treatment.
Yeah, this is definitely a case we got to laugh to keep from crying. You know what I'm saying? This is and I'm not laughing at the ones who lost loved ones. Do let me make that very perfectly clear. But it's time, Black family, for us to keep allowing our intelligence to be insulted by these state-sponsored terrorists. Yeah. Period. And motherfuckers wonder why the Black Panthers came into existence. They wonder why the Deacons of Defense came into existence. You wonder why the fuck Nat Turner did what he did. You wonder why the fuck you had the revolution in Haiti in 1804.
Yeah.
This is why.
Enough is enough.
I mean, you can only kick a dog so many times.
Unfortunately, we've had more shootings on top of this one. Our next topic is the victims of the deadly Houston flea market shooting were involved in gunfire. Officials.
Now, what happened in Houston?
Thousands of people were busy at the flea market. 2 dead, 3 hurt in shooting at Houston flea market.
Wow.
1:07 p.m. today, we received a call in regards to a weapons disturbance here on Airline Drive. There was an altercation between 5 Hispanic males. The 5 Hispanic males got into a fight, which ended up them drawing guns. There are 2 deceased on scene. There are 3 Hispanic males that have been transported from here in critical condition, 1 to Houston Northwest, 1 to Ben Taub, and 1 to Memorial Herman. We do have 1 of the 2 possible suspects detained on scene, and then 1 of the possible suspects has been transported to the hospital. It's a very fluid scene at this time. Our homicide detectives are just arriving, so we're sorting through a lot. So it's very fluid at this time. The ages of all of them are approximately 20s, mid-20s. So there's 2 suspects, possible suspects here on the scene, and then there is another possible suspect at the hospital, and then there's 2 deceased on the scene. But there's a total of 5 that have been shot, and there's 2 additional possible suspects.
Wow. They only show Hispanics.
Right now, we're all feeling the squeeze. You're having to get creative. Find a new way. But birthday's still...
But okay, here we go.
Okay, also too, I wanted to be known, Brother Isaiah, had made a comment on social media. That's why I blinked in and out, and I did let him know that we're on StreamYard, and I asked him to join us.
Oh, nice.
Our East Coast correspondent, Brother Isaiah, and definitely a shout out there to our brother Kaleem Shabazz. From what I understand in my absence, who's been putting in a lot of work coming out there up out of Canada. So he will be our international correspondent.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we definitely appreciate his input and definitely let the brother know I will be, he's been reaching out to me. I'm not ignoring him. I'm just dealing with some things here in Los Angeles, which we all are aware of.
Yes.
And once again, what it is black families, that our young men have got to be trained to how to respond to this type of shit. And what I mean with this, and let me say, we're not going out here advocating, killing anybody, but we're advocating that we're going to defend our motherfucking selves, by any means necessary.
Period. So there was another shooting. Finish your thoughts, Shabaka, and then we got to move to the next.
Yes, sir. Oh, yes, sir. Absolutely. I only need about 30 more seconds, okay? Because I do recall as a child coming up in the late 60s, 1970s, when we did organize and we were defending ourselves legally, okay, a lot of that shit did change and what have you. Now, for you brothers out there in the rap game, man, get your goddamn money together, pull your resources, man, and quit with that stupid ass shit. This mumble ramble rap shit talking about killing nigga and all this old type of shit. Look what the fuck is going on.
Yeah.
Let's look around you. And I'm not disrespecting any crew. I'm not disrespecting any rapper. I'm just looking at it for what it is. As Dr. Wilson had said, in the ISIS papers, and correct me if I'm wrong, Brother Che, because you're the one that brought that there to my attention, is that they will condition us to be killing ourselves through self-hatred, and we won't even realize that we're doing it.
Yep.
Now you got these original motherfuckers, white supremacists, who are coming out blatant with their shit, replacement theory, critical race theory. Well, we're all the same guy and all that bullshit. Like I said, take your ass out there to the low desert, from now until about the next 30 days. Better yet, make it the first day of summer. And leave your sunscreens at home, and you will find out about 30 minutes, I believe, Brother Che, of how we are not the same when that shit starts peeling and they start shedding their skin like a fucking snake. And what color is a snake's belly? What color is a snake's belly when he crawls on?
Pink.
It's what?
Pink.
It's pink.
Pink.
Or it's white.
Beige.
Okay.
Clear.
Okay. You see the correlation that I'm bringing up right here?
Yeah.
You see the correlation that I'm bringing up right here?
Yeah.
Okay. So we got to quit killing each other.
Right.
We lost who?
We lost the anchor, man. But we got the next topic. And
okay. And then I can give you about 15 more minutes, man, and then I'm gonna have to shut it down myself.
Okay, Shabaka. Thank you for coming on.
Okay, no, I can give you about 15 more minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
So our next topic, there was another shooting, this time in Milwaukee, and 3 people were shot and killed in Milwaukee following a night of violence. Milwaukee police are investigating 3 separate overnight shootings in which a 17-year-old boy and 2 men in their 20s died. And shout out to our comrades out of Milwaukee, Outlaw Radio.
Oh, absolutely, indeed. Mr. Barnes, of course.
Yes. Kevin Barnes, Kamar, and Courtney. and rail.
Oh, absolutely. Indeed.
So I'm looking for a video, but I don't see one. So I'm just gonna try to get this article. It says Milwaukee. It's from a U.S. News. Milwaukee AP, Associated Press. Milwaukee police on Sunday are investigating 3 separate overnight shootings in which a 17-year-old boy and 2 men in their 20s died. The shootings came a night after a night of violence in which 21 people were shot and wounded in 3 other attacks near the severe Fiserv Forum in downtown Milwaukee as the Bucks were taking on the Boston Celtics in Game 6 of the NBA playoff series. Those shootings led authorities to impose 11 p.m. curfew on Saturday and Sunday. The Bucks canceled a fan watch party for Sunday's afternoon's decisive Game 7. The Milwaukee County medical examiner said a 21-year-old died after a shooting that happened near the 11th and Rogers Street around 11:45 p.m. Saturday, Fox 6 News reported. About 40 minutes later, a 17-year-old Milwaukee boy was killed in a shooting that police say might have been related to a robbery. The victim had a gun on him. The third fatal shooting occurred near 19th Street and Lincoln Avenue around 2:30 a.m. Sunday. Police said that a 20-year-old local man had died. Police have released the victims' names or arrested anyone in the shootings as of early Sunday afternoon. The 11 p.m. curfew required anyone aged 20 or younger to be off the streets was in effect when the shootings occurred or happened. Police said Sunday that Saturday night was peaceful and uneventful in the downtown area and that no citations for curfew violations were issued. Everyone wounded in Friday's shootings, which happened within blocks of the arena, is expected to survive. At least 11 people have been arrested in connection with those shootings. The Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel reported that the crowds were noticeably smaller at restaurants and bars downtown during Sunday's game compared to previous playoff games. At the Oak Barrel Public House, about a block away from the Fiserv Forum, Assistant General Manager Max Bradshaw said he expected fewer families would bring their children to the area Sunday, but he predicted the crowds would come back eventually. People like to have a short memory like that, he told the newspaper. But Demetri Davis, who works at McGully near the intersection where 11 people were shot Friday, said police need to do more to control the crowds and keep the area safe. Okay, so thoughts on what happened in Milwaukee?
As all in one weekend, family.
Okay, and definitely a shout out there to Kevin Barnes out there at Outlaw Radio. I hope everybody's safe and secure there as well.
Yes, they're good.
That show's great.
Okay. Yeah, it is. Okay, so with me being an old bastard, the only thing I can say, it is time for us to defend ourselves, people. We have no choice now. I mean, it's because this shit, it keeps going on and on and on and on and on and on again. We get out there, we tolerate, we organize, we march, get it, TOM, as in Tom. And the same shit keeps happening again and again and again. And then over the course of the years, as you and I know, Brother Che, will, off of our research, and for all you assholes out there that say that we don't know what the fuck we talking about and all that, no, we research our shit. You just disagree with it. And then also to the individuals like Bianchi, let me see, other coon ass scratchers out there. I'm just gonna say it the real. You motherfuckers are dangerous. You are a threat to our security on a group level and on an individual level.
Yeah.
Straight out. I mean, straight out. If you all want to sit up there and want to go integrate with these motherfuckers, hey, fine, that's your business. But don't sit up there and crumb bum on us is because we're trying to become self-sufficient. And that we're trying to advocate defending ourselves and upgrading the qualities of our life and rebuilding our black family unit. Okay, that's the key, black family. We got to rebuild the black family unit on a household basis, on a community basis, on a Pan-African basis, on a national basis, and on an international basis. So in other words, as Brother Malcolm had said, since we just celebrated his birthday recently, as to our brothers on the continent, and call it a Kebalan, call it Africa, call it Moors land, call it Hebrew Israelite, that continent I'm talking about has the Indian Ocean of it on the east, it has the Atlantic Ocean of it on the west, and it has the Mediterranean Sea on the north, and right down there at the bottom of it where Azania is, where the Indian Ocean and the Atlantic Ocean collide with each other, that's the continent that I'm talking about. We got to reunite the whole continent and in the diaspora.
Mm-hmm.
Because what the fuck we gonna do? We're gonna keep going out here being sitting ducks for these motherfuckers? Bullshit.
Right.
That could have been you. That could have been me. That could have been our loved ones. And then a good friend of ours, who lost a loved one in that.
Yeah.
You see, and we're supposed to sit up there, y'all the boss. We love you so very, very much. You the boss. And Samuel L. Jackson. And I got to say this here to you, Samuel L. Jackson. I know you got your mansion up there in Bel Air and Beverly Hills and all that shit. But when you sat up there and you played that house nigga in that movie Django, you were a major disappointment. Now, I can understand if you are an up-and-coming actor, but you were already an established actor where you writing your own damn paychecks. So, man, why would you play some shit like that? Tyler Perry, you welcome to call in, too. We know you're not. But, man, you got to come up out the dresses, man. Do more roles like you did in Alex Cross. Do more roles like you did in Why I Got Married. You see what I'm saying? Because all money ain't good money, folks.
Right. And you got your whole studio. You don't need these mugs.
Yeah, exactly. And then also, too, Mr. Perry, I appreciate your accomplishments. I appreciate your Tyler Perry Studios. But please, sir, have at least 80%, repeat, 80% of the personnel that works behind the scenes in that industry be black.
Yeah.
Okay?
Black people.
Yeah, you see? Because like I said, when these other groups sit up there and look at us and we talking about kumbaya and we forgiving us, they sitting up there laughing at us.
Yeah.
They laughing at us. And then you get, and then you get assholes like Roof and Shit in the House and Gendron or whatever Dron he is or whatever. You get these mentally mutated motherfuckers who's taking it upon themselves. Well, we got to go out there and preserve white people and all that. You motherfuckers are the goddamn virus.
Right.
This don't mean that we hate you and despise you and all that, but it's to the point where we ain't got no choice. And as the Queen Mother said, okay, I cannot go before our ancestors not knowing that I did my best to pass on to the generations after me the fucking real. I just did it. Okay, now, for the generations after me who will become elders, pass it on to the generations after you. There's nothing wrong with calling yourself a black man or woman in the diaspora in Pan-Africa, African descent, or what have you, and the Moors and And the Hebrew Israelites, brothers, please settle your differences. Okay, please. Please settle those differences. It's because we are a great people of where we come from. Hell, why the fuck you think I took the name of Sankore? The University of Sankore there in ancient Mali. All the people from all over the world were going there getting educated. Mm-hmm. And then here come the fuck boys out there, with their sick asses. Oh, and by the way, Meta or Facebook or whatever, you know what I'm saying? If you know good bastards want to hit me with another suspension, great. Because each time that you hit me with a suspension only proves my fucking point even more so. Mm-hmm. Your silence tells us. Just like when they suspend, our correspondents and our commentators and our well-wishers on there. Only thing you telling us when you suspend us is that we are right.
That's it.
And you are hiding the truth because you can't handle the truth.
Yeah.
And then you talking about sit up here and sympathize with some mutant ass motherfuckers going up here doing these diabolical Frankensteinian surgeries for a man to give birth to a mutant. It's unnatural. You might as well made a goddamn turtle and a fucking giraffe. That's impossible. Mm-hmm. I mean, what is this shit? And then just like when we did Shabaka's Black Experience and Answer a few months back, Brother Paris, and who's the son of a bitch that called in from LA off that 213 number? Oh, well, if you beat up on your inflatable doll or your sex robot, that's woman abuse. Man, just to sit there, and I cannot understand how somebody's mind is warped it is. He might be on dope or got hit in the head or the goddamn smog here, this raggedy ass shit they call water here that's not fit for a dog. That man is fucked up in the head.
Yeah.
True.
I mean, I'm just being real. And then also to our well-wishers, sometimes we do go off the hook. We do know how to use proper language. So if anybody's offended by the language on this, we do apologize. Definitely drop us a note. If we offended you, we'll try to correct it. So we're definitely giving out our apologies. But right now, ladies and gentlemen, what is going on, what happened with that situation there is Brother Paris just mentioned with Gendron or whatever, Dylan Roof and what have you, something is extremely wrong. And to quote the words of the Queen Mother, we have a right to survive, we have a right to live, and we have a right to exist.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
I mean,
right,
yes, sir.
I think your 15 minutes is up, but we have one more topic we wanted to get to before you left.
Okay, sure. Yeah, I'll stick around for it. Yeah.
And that was the new press secretary.
Oh yeah, the one that's replacing Piaski, or whatever. Yeah. Okay, well, in my opinion, from the little information that I came across, a coon in progress, CIP, a coon in progress who's going to sit up there and feed the world prepackaged bullshit. And once again, you Biden supporters are welcome to call in at Shabaka's Black Experience Enhanced 516-418-5996. And also, too, I want to give a special shout out to the lady when I put up there on social media, fuck Biden and fuck all y'all that voted for him. And where the lady responded back and she says, well, I voted for Biden, so fuck you, Shabaka. Great, beautiful man. We appreciate your insult. We appreciate your input. It's because that simply shows that we are getting somewhere.
Right.
At a snail's pace, but as long as we got forward momentum, you're progressing. we might not like the pace or whatnot, and then of course for those, our scholars and what have you that listen to our platform and what have you, inbox us, please, show us what we're getting hit with, show us where we're effective with, you know what I'm saying? You're welcome to call in, comment, you know what I'm saying? All insults are welcome to you and what have you, and we'll deal with it. It's because we do research our stories. We've been in existence for 5 years. We are looking for sponsors, okay? But as Lady Che has said, who's the anchor of Revolutionary Agenda, the sick shit that she read about that this man is going to try to impregnate himself, and this diabolical doctor who's taking body parts from dead females trying to put it into these males. Whatever product comes of that is a mutant. That is not natural. Okay? Right. What happens is that a man and a woman have a union, okay? The woman lubricates, okay? Semen is extrapolated from the male into her ovaries, okay? Then what happens is it goes around and it drops off and it fertilizes her egg, and this is where natural pregnancy comes from. Now, I might be senile, I might be stupid or whatever, but just show me where I'm wrong on that. Now, you individuals with your alternative lifestyles, okay, hey, that's your business. You have a right to your human rights. You have a right to your civil rights. But ain't no motherfucker with a 5 o'clock shadow, with an Adam's apple, swinging a Johnson, gonna come up and tell me he's a woman. That ain't gonna happen.
Not gonna happen.
Not gonna happen.
Not gonna
That's
happen.
not happen. It's not gonna happen. I'm sorry. It's not gonna happen. And then also too, for these celebrities, we know you got a lot of money, you got a lot of juice. I'm in town, you know what I'm saying? For those of you talking about that you want to raise boys to be girls, that's child abuse.
Yeah, that's horrible.
That is child abuse. Okay. So therefore, when a young man, starts growing in and he starts looking at wiggly asses and he starts having reactions within his body makeup, that's only natural. Same thing with the women. When she starts noticing things, when her nipples are getting hard and when her thing lubricates and what have you, that's natural. Okay, opposites do attract. And your Agent Clippers and your Joe Gibsons and Sarge on Joe Gibson, who's hurled insults at me and Pianki's and what have you. I laugh at you, Tricks. I really, really do. I mean, sometimes I just might fuck with you just to entertain myself, to listen to the asinine shit that you come up with.
Yeah.
You motherfuckers are stupid, and excuse my language. And of course, I am well aware of the fact of those, who don't dig what they call profanity and what have you. We only use it to drive our point home, to emphasize our point. Now, we can intellectualize it, you know what I'm saying, but we cannot sit here and tolerate crap like, that this dude is working a replacement theory because he's figuring he's got to go out there and preserve the white race and all that. First place, when we were building pyramids, performing brain surgery, you motherfuckers were in the Caucasus Mountains, okay? And if you all might be feeling a certain way about that, hey, that's up to you. But I'd be damned if I'm going to sit up here and denounce the greatness of where my people and black people come from, the melanated people. The ADOS, foundational black Americans who built this damn country, and a lot of my blood through my ancestors was shedded there on the state of Alabama. So therefore, Governor Newsom, you hypocritical assholes up there in Sacramento, yeah, I'll be seeing you and cut the goddamn check.
Yeah, period.
Straight out, period. And then hopefully, if they're serious about this here in California, hopefully this here will pick up a nationwide trend. It's because after all, California sets the trend for other states to pass these stupid ass, dumb ass laws like these 3 strikes you're out. We got to give you 25 years to life. You could be paroled in 199 years and what have you. And free all our political prisoners. And once again, Sundiata Akolu, based on research that I've came across information recently, he has been paroled after 46 years.
Wow.
And also, too, Biden, with the new CUNET press secretary, signed an executive order that the Queen Mother is to not to be fucked with, revoke or take away that reward that you got on her, and reopen the goddamn case.
Period.
And then on top of that, all that information that must now be released after 25 years in her defense, release it and pay that woman, you know, $1 billion and false accusations and false imprisonment and what have you. The Queen Mother is 77 years old. Okay. And let me make sure I got my math right. Wait a minute. 1947. Let me see here. 7 to the 0 is 3. Okay. Plus the 2. No, the Queen Mother will be 75 years old this year.
Mm.
Okay. And we all know we're talking about Tupac's auntie. Okay.
Asada Shakur.
Yes, indeed. Leave her alone.
Yeah.
The woman is in the twilight of her youth. She has stated and presented evidence of her innocence, but the state of New Jersey and the powers that be refused to recognize that. And the spirit of J. Edgar Hoover, may he rest in peace.
Right.
He was a practicing homosexual. Never been married. Excuse my language, ladies. Hoover, maybe you should have went on and got you some pussies, because it is a beautiful thing. It really is. You know? But yet, though, you want to sit up here and persecute black men and women who fed school-age children who are hungry in their formidable years, trying to give them proper nutrition. You know what I'm saying? And then, let me say this here, and I encourage every black man, woman, and child, if you're able to take a trip to Oakland, California, go to Defremery Park, go to Chicago, okay, listen to the wind and hear the stories of long ago of our great history, you know, then loved ones who I had that traveled through the Carolinas and what have you, and saw the historical places of the auction blocks. I traveled briefly in the South, and a song kept going through my mind as I did a couple episodes from the ATL. Southern trees bear strange fruit. Black body was blowing in the southern breeze, blood all over the leaves, and I'm just paraphrasing the song as opposed to the actual lyrics, you know.
We call it strange fruit.
Exactly, indeed, and I felt the spirits of the misery of our ancestors in my psyche, particularly in the ATL, and just like Denver, just like Los Angeles, just like Oakland, the majority of those who I saw homeless were black men. Black men.
Whoa.
Yeah, because as you know, is that when you take the black male up out of the household, it cannot help but crumble. And then when the black boys come out without the father figure, what have you, they go astray. They start going in and out of jail thinking it's the norm.
Yeah. But Shabaka, before you go, we gotta get to this article real quick.
Indeed, indeed.
So veteran White House reporters get candid on press secretary's role as Jean-Pierre takes over tricky business White House correspondent Pan's media favorite Jen Psaki as she exits role. She did more to promote herself than promote the president. This is from Fox News.
Wow. Okay. One of the biggest propaganda machines going, Fox News, and Tucker Carlson, fuck you. Fuck Tucker Carlson.
So,
Period.
are you talking about a specific tweet?
He tweeted, "You want to bring down inflation? Let's make sure the wealthiest corporations pay their fair share."
Look, we have talked about this past year about making sure that the wealthiest among us are paying their fair share, and that is important to do, and that is something that the president has been working on every day when we talk about inflation and lowering costs, and so it's very important that as we're seeing costs rise. As we're talking about how to, build an America that's safe and that's equal for everyone and doesn't leave anyone behind, that is an important part of that as well.
But how does raising taxes on corporations lower the cost of gas, the cost of used car, the cost of food for everyday Americans?
So look, I think we encourage those who have done very well, right? Especially those who care about climate change, to support a fair tax code that doesn't charge manufacturers, workers, cops, builders a higher percentage of their earnings, that the most fortunate people in our nation, and not let that stand in the way of reducing energy costs and fighting this existential problem, if you think about that as an example. And to support basic collective bargaining rights as well, right? That's also important. But look, it is, without having a fair tax code, which is what I'm talking about, then manufacturing workers, cops, it's not fair for them to have to pay higher taxes than the folks who are not paying taxes at all, or barely high.
So they're hounding her about her views.
Wow. Wow.
Fox News.
Yeah, old fucker Carlson, huh? Yeah. Yeah, well, fucker Carlson. And let's say, and I'll go so far as to say, fuck the whole Fox organization, because you got that psychotic judge, what's her name? Jeannie Pisco, Pico, whatever what that broad's name is. She makes some asinine statements herself, and every now and then when I look at Fox News, I look at it to laugh at the ignorance, to be honest about it. Yeah. CNN, you cats are pretty much no damn better, you know what I mean? You got old Don Lemon up there, and of course, we know Don's lifestyle. Hey, Don, that's your business, and this, that, there, the other. But the part that I found so interesting about Don is that when someone was tracing his ancestry, and I believe that Mr. Lemon is from New Orleans, Louisiana, and I've traveled through the state of Louisiana, and I felt, once again, a very, very certain way about it is because from what I understand about New Orleans, Louisiana, the slave markets down there were quite interesting, if you know what I mean, particularly in regard to our girls, if you know what I mean.
Yep. And you had the serial killer, Madame LaLaurie.
Oh, really? Now, what's this deranged motherfucker story?
She liked to decapitate her slaves.
Like to decapitate her slaves for recreation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And let me say that
it was so sickening that the white people in Louisiana had to run her out of New Orleans.
She was that bad.
She was that bad. She was a serial killer.
Wow.
Decapitate her slaves. And practice sex operations on them and all kinds of sick shit.
Oh, man. Well, and from what I understand about New Orleans, Louisiana, it was perhaps one of the most barbaric and sadistic forms of slavery out of the whole system over the research that I've done over the years. But I will say that over the course of my life, some of the women I had in my life had direct lineage to Louisiana. And I appreciated it and loved every moment of it, you know. So I guess Orleans. And I guess Orleans had a certain way of doing things. And then let me see, I did travel to the through the state of Florida, and give a shout out there to Rashida Strober, the great work of what she is doing with her and a conscious level that she raises. Definitely appreciate the work of Kevin Barnes and the conscious level that he arouses. Okay. Now, for my haters who call Shabaka a son of a bitch, a black racist, a ignorant motherfucking, all that old type of shit, I'm not mad at you, and I do understand that you may be frustrated and aggravated due to this undisputed truth that we research and we go through hell and high water. And I do recall, you know, days of my youth where certain knowledges were dropped on me, which was, how should I say, more than 35 years ago. And keep in mind, youngins, is that when you get off in this age group, you're going to say, damn, what happened all the time? You know, so if you're out to do something great in your life, now is the time to do it. Do not waste your time on pity parties. Do not waste your time, oh, woe is me, and all that shit. Stay focused. Go ahead and accomplishment. Let's look at the example of the heavyweight champion who is hated. And they call this man every nigga and every draft dodging black SOB, this, that, there, the other. But what did he tell them when he lectured at the University of Texas? Is that he said, if I'm going to die, I'm going to die fighting one of you all. Do I have any takers? And you could hear a pin drop in the room.
You could. And
then also, too, I did go through Augusta, GA. I went down there, down James Brown Boulevard. He himself had spoke for a generation with Said Loud, I'm black and I'm proud. And then I've been listening to one of my favorite tunes by Mr. Brown on YouTube. It's called Talking Loud, boom, boom, and saying nothing, boom, boom, talking loud. Boom, boom, and saying nothing. Oh, yeah. Yeah, James, you know, he spoke for a generation, a big payback, paid the cost to be the boss. I feel good. But one of his coldest hits, Beautiful Black Woman, is this. When he says, it is a man's world, boom, 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 boom. But it's nothing without a woman or a girl.
Mm-hmm.
See, so for all you dudes, you know, out there that, you know, are misogynistical and want to be with another man and all that, go get some pussy. You might find out you enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? And it doesn't stink, you know, like the crack of another man's ass does. You know what I mean? It lubricates, you know what I mean? It's warm. You know what I'm saying? You know, it might set you straight on a few things. And I don't mean no disrespect, you know, to any of our women or our women well-wishers and what have you, you know. But as I reflect, you know, on the black experience, Unhoused, you know, as I appreciate Elder McChesnick telling us a while back when I'd asked him, what did I grow up in? Which was the 1960s. And on my closing comment, I'm going to say about the year 1967, my mother overheard me outside using the MF term. So after absorbing a left hook followed by the right hand and having my mouth rinsed out with soap, my mother explained to me what it originated from and what it meant. Just say, you know, some more sick, diabolical shit, you know, of the plantation system. I say on the slave farms where they would, and I believe Tariq Nasheed, Brother Che had did something on this a little bit with the hidden colors of how they would have black males mate with their own mamas to produce better quality of slaves. Sickening, 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 sickening. And then, of course, of the white rape and slave trading pedophile who will sit up there and violate 10, 11-year-old black girls because he wants to go up there and make more slaves. Like Black Friday, putting our women up there on the auction block to be sold to young white boys. Like what now?
Goodbye, Uncle Tom.
Yeah. And this is why the one and only Oscar Brown Jr. had made a record on one of his albums, I believe the circus 1960-61, I believe, during the Civil Rights era. And this is why we used his work and given him credit for it, on the intro called Bid Him In. You've heard the introduction yourself, Brother Che, of the auction block. And what does he say? Bring that young girl up here, Roy. She's great for a start. And I would imagine that the young girl was probably 10 or 11 years old, scared to death, and what have you, abused, brutalized. You know what I'm saying? I mean, a black woman has been through hell, and yet she still strives, you see. So, brothers, you need to think about that the next time before you use the B word, me included, you know what I'm saying, and whatnot. And then, too, let me say this here about the children who were being detained at the Texas international line or the Texas border. And then coming up there, they even approached us with, well, what about the children, in the detention centers? And I had to bring to light that, well, what about the children that were taken out of their mama's arms and sold for profit and then never see their parents again? And only Lord knows what happened to those poor babies.
Yep, that part.
And then in this part, as I traveled through the Sunshine State, I was told by the locals there, whatever you do, do not go by no bodies of water. Why? That's where old Wally Gator lives. Yeah. And then they used to take our black infants and feed them to the alligators, to trapped alligators. Yeah, that part, And then I don't ever want to see the Florida Everglades because they got everything and anything out there, from crocodiles, anacondas, you name it, it claims it, And then I can't deal with your hurricanes down into those in the Sunshine State. But I wouldn't know what the hell to do down there, no more than you would know what to do if an earthquake hits California. Oh, I could deal with my quakes. Hell, I only lived through 5 major earthquakes in my lifetime, and what have you. 2 riots, you know what I'm saying? 1992, 1965, once again, a result of police brutality. Now you got white supremacists going out here taking pot shots at our elderly. And condolences to those that lost their loved ones. And hopefully the damn judicial system will get some damn sense and go in there and execute this motherfucker, just like that John Lee Cowell who murdered little Nia up in Oakland, California a few years back. Little Nia. And I did a live feed, Brother Parrish, from there that I put out there. I think you had saw it, when they had the vigil there for at the MacArthur BART station, and I almost broke down and cried myself. And I said it then, and I'll say it again. How in the hell was that son of a bitch able to walk about that BART station? And keep in mind, I was in the same fucking neighborhood where the Minister of Defense did his patrols, ensuring our safety. And then the sad part, the media comes out there and the father of little Nia, who says he just wants justice for his daughter, justice for his daughter. The man is broken up in tears. You know, I mean, nervous system gone of the shock of what he's dealing with. And of course, you know, hearing, you know, little Nia's mother crying in the background. And then they come up there with some spokesman, I believe, talking about we are asking the black community to stand down. Wow. Then they had some of the Proud Boys show up there at the MacArthur BART station cheering John Lee Kyle's actions. They had some of the brethren that came up out the neighborhood, and them fuckers were smashed, as well as they should have been. I mean, my God, man. Wow. Wow. So they view us and they hate us, black family, because they cannot be us. Yeah. And being an old bastard, you know what I'm saying? You know, I'm starting to recognize that. But you could best believe I do not advocate that we sit up there and sing Kumbaya.
Hell
and
no.
And then Ben Crump and Al Sharpton. Yeah, I'm gonna crumb bum on you tricks. Okay, I respect your educations or your miseducations, but you all are some ambulance chasing motherfuckers. You all are. You all are chasing ambulances at the expense of our people's lives, at the expense of the misery of the loved ones of those family members of those who are murdered, of what they are going through. A friend of mine, you know, of what he's going through because one of his loved ones was murdered by this bastard there in Buffalo. And police department in Buffalo. How come that son of a bitch couldn't have an accident on the way to the police station? You know what I mean?
Right. How come he couldn't get roughed up? Something.
No, how come he couldn't be handcuffed and shoot his own self in the head? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Why wasn't his ass shot on sight by the police like they did little Tamir Rice?
Like they do everybody when they knock and just come in, you know.
Yeah, right. How come they did not do what they did to Zell Ford here in Los Angeles? Handcuff him and shoot him in the back. Why couldn't they do that? How come they couldn't do to that son of a bitch of what they did to Mario Woods in San Francisco? And yes, Madam Vice President, I'm talking to you.
Because he had the complexion for the protection.
Right.
To quote the heavyweight champion of the world, yes, sir. He had the complexion for the protection in this nation.
Yeah.
And why do you think we always mention that arrogant black bastard from Louisville? Because that man sacrificed his prime years for what he believed in.
Yeah.
See? Why do you think I respect Deontay Wilder going off into a brutal sport, you know, past his prime years? Because he had a baby with special needs.
Yeah.
And his skill of boxing, you know what I'm saying, you know, made him provide those costs.
Right.
Oh, and by the way, Tyson Fury, when you fight a legitimate contender, I want to see you get knocked the fuck out cold. Oh, yeah, that's right. Deontay knocked him out twice already, and they gave your stinking ass a slow count.
Yeah.
Wow. How I wish for the days of Jack Johnson again. And on my closing comment, it came to my point right here, and I'm not getting off track, Brother Che, because I know you're very, very meticulous about staying on track. I just want to say this here. I had found out recently in Los Angeles County, the year was 1908, Vernon, California, which is nothing but a city 5 blocks wide, 2 blocks long. It's an industrial town. There was a heavyweight fight there with Jack Johnson where he was beating the shit out of this white boy so bad just that the sheriff of Los Angeles County stepped up into the ring with a double-barrel shotgun, squeezed off a couple of rounds and saying, I'm stopping this shit. We can't have no black man beating up no white man like this. And then to the memory of Jack London. They got a square named after him in Oakland, California.
Jack London Square, yep.
Yes, sir. Jack London. He was a newspaper writer, a commentator at that time when they were going to have the heavyweight championship fight between Jack Johnson and Jeffries in San Francisco, which it was originally scheduled for. And he had wrote that Jeffries was the great white hope and that all darkies look alike. And let's see, and and he's the one that coined the phrase of making James J. Jeffries, the former heavyweight champion James J. Jeffries, who had retired undefeated at the time, by the way, and said, "Big Jim, you got to come out of retirement to get the heavyweight crown back for the white people." And Mr. Johnson went in there and whooped his ass. And to show you how history repeats itself, Floyd Patterson, former heavyweight champion. I feel sorry for this brother. He was the former heavyweight champion in the year 1965. He was challenging the then heavyweight champion at that time, Ali. And he had made the statement on ABC News is that he is going to take back the heavyweight championship of the world from when we don't mention the slave name, from Ali for the American people. And the heavyweight champion beat the living dog shit out of him, and they had to stop the fight after 12 rounds.
Wow.
Oh, yeah, you could pull it up on YouTube as some of Ali's best work. Ernie Terrell. Yeah, the octopus, as Ali referred to him as. The infamous battle of What's My Name. Ali beat Terrell's ass so bad he made that phrase a household term.
Yeah.
What's my name? Yeah. And then and our educators, as Dr. Francis Cress Wilson, Naeem Akbar, what have you. Chikanta Diop, the list goes on and on and on. And to our scholars there, with your PhDs and what have you, Dr. Barnes and whatnot, you're more than welcome to come on Shabaka's Black Experience Enhanced and host your own topic and show if you so desire, because we deal with the Black experience from the beginning of time to 10 minutes ago. And with that there, I bid you all a good night. From Los Angeles, California, for Front Line News. Yes, sir. All right. Mm-hmm.
Night.
Night. Mm-hmm.
All right, so we're down to our last 3 topics of the night, and they're all Unhoused neighbor related. Decade of Doom, Unhoused neighbor news, Unhoused neighbor sweeps. So, Black family, the sweeps continue. They've been going on for the past 10 years now. And we had an event, not this past Saturday, but the Saturday before last, to bring awareness to that. As you can see from my t-shirt, it says Denver's Decade of Doom. So it's been a decade of this urban camping ban, where it's been illegal for people to survive on the streets of Denver. You can be arrested, ticketed, or harassed just for covering yourself with a tent, a tarp, a sleeping bag, anything besides your own clothing is deemed illegal in the city and county of Denver. So we just had this event 2 Saturdays ago to bring awareness to that. And Lady Che is going
I can't tell you any of that. That is not my remember.
Read the article.
Why? You're in the wrong spot. Totally in the wrong spot. All right. Why? I can't even speak on this, family. I wasn't even present. I had to do something else.
Just read the article.
Decades since banned homeless encampments, little data illustrates a policy's success or its cost. The big picture: Colorado's chronically sheltered population grew by 266% between 2007 and 2021, more than any other state, and the number of people experiencing homelessness for the first time in Metro Denver doubled between 2020 and 2021. At the same time, Mile High City ranks among the nation's top 10 most expensive metros, with an average home sales price hitting a record $705,812. Driving the news, Tuesday marks 10 years since the city's urban camping ban was signed into law by Mayor Hancock. The milestone prompted opponents of the policy to don shirts that read Denver's Decade of Doom in a city council protest last week, causing an hour delay. That shit was raw.
Yes.
And, family, just note to self, I've been saying this shit for like ever, exactly what the people needed. And that day, for some reason, they went in there and they terrorized the city council and they said all my points. I just had to say that. Nobody ever listens to me. Anyway, the milestone prompted opponents of the policy to don shirts. Okay. What they're saying, all the promises they were made have not come true, Therese Howard said, an advocate for the homeless told Denver Voice. People are still not connected to services, and people are being criminalized and put in jail more so than housing, she said. It's time for it to take a new approach. What have I been saying, family? State of play. Denver's leaders have no idea how much the policy costs taxpayers to clear homeless encampments off public and private property. It's because they're misappropriating the funds, and they don't, the math don't make sense. But nobody listens to me.
$20,000.
Allegedly, it's more.
Sweet.
Yeah, I heard it was more than that. Regardless of cost, they're necessary to protect public health and safety. Hancock spokesman Mike Strout tells Axios Denver. Meanwhile, the city sweeps have pushed people to other places like Denver International Airport, and Aurora recently passed its camping ban of its own. The other side, here, to help address the crisis, Denver this year quadrupled its contract to $4 million with the Colorado Village Collaborative. Oh man, you just wait till the RVA tomorrow. We're going to dig real deep into this. Colorado Village Collaborative to continue to expand a city-sanctioned campsite for unhoused people. Hancock also launched the city's second housing surge campaign to get at least 400 more people stable housed by mid-May.
So you got to talk about the 500 and some people that got housed.
Right. They put out an article saying that today some like I gotta pull up the article. It's like 500 people got housed. They just put this out there again.
Over 500.
Over 500 people, and I'm just like, yeah, right. But we're just out there. No, Hancock. I already read that. And the city's advancing plan will require real estate developers to build affordable housing units in new residential projects. That's a lie. Nothing's ever affordable.
60% AMI and above.
60 to 80%. It's supposed to be at 30, so you have a chance to have a working wage and money to pay your bills and whatever you need with your wage, and still manage to live there. But it's impossible. Out of like 80 units, you got maybe 6 that are like 60%. Maybe 2 might be 30, and even if that. Of note, let's put it out for a second. Denver's housing department received $10.8 million in federal American Rescue Plan aid and is exploring how to spend the funds, including an affordable housing, homeless prevention, and purchase of development of a non-congregate shelter. What's next? The city's auditor is conducting the first ever evaluation to determine the impact of the city's management of homeless encampments including cleanup costs and repercussions for the community.
Ooh.
That's the article.
This is pictures of city council.
You're going about this all wrong.
Take over.
I have it. I have this already.
Okay, well, we're going to move to your section. So now we're on to Unhoused Neighbor News and Unhoused Neighbor Sweeps. So, Lady Che.
I can't even participate. Jesse, I was at the landmark. You went to the sweep.
Okay, so I went to a sweep last week or the week before last on 20th in Champa.
And participated in all of the Decade of Doom's activities where I was not able to participate. I did the landmark forum, family. I was busy.
So yeah, there was about 20 to 30 people that got displaced. Mainly they were Black, ironically enough. And I got to meet Evan Dreyer was there, the deputy mayor. And I got to meet the boss of EHS, Joey. He was there because we had got on him on having one of his workers destroy one of our friends' tents, Kev. And yeah, it was just really bad. But I filmed the whole thing. It's on Front Line Blacc News if you want to see the video. And then this article is about the Decade of Doom event where homeless advocates took over city council for like an hour.
Yeah. And well, there's video of this. There's video of this. It's just on the other side. They basically, went in there and tried to express their views. Denver City Council only allows 30 minutes of public comment, and which really means maybe 6 to 8 people can get a chance to speak. Well, they had a whole chamber full of people, and they were intent on getting their thoughts heard. All the city council members walked out except for Candice Baca. Shout out to her doing the work. She stayed attentive to them and their needs, their comments anyway. Then they proceeded to have city council back on. After that, we were sitting in the queue on Zoom, waiting, and that was like the longest hour of my life. Stacey Gilmore, I want to say this: when anybody's talking to her during that day, she was rolling her eyes and smiling like everything was a big joke, and it really wasn't. I mean, you had people in there really expressing their views, and they were in some of them were in a frenzied state. Some were crying. Some couldn't even keep their words together. They were just really passionate and just going in, and it was intense. Then in the picture right there, you got Jerry Burton, and I did have to say that we finally found out where the service providers have been, and they changed their name, and they're doing their thing again under what House Keys
Action Network,
yeah. So I reached out. I'm supposed to call here shortly, next couple of days. Jesse just spoke to everybody a little bit, and that was that. So what else is there?
Unhoused Neighbor Sweeps, Unhoused Neighbor News.
And that was all about it. I do want to say the Union Station thing is cleared up to where now they're going to start housing concerts in the Union Station. But again, like I said, there is no. I don't want to hear the police or these people state the success. I want to hear actual people, and I don't see that yet. Considering that they just had a sweep in our friend's stuff, he went to go to the restroom and his whole tent just got taken away. And there's some old fraudulent claim of a trace of something or other. You know what I mean? And my thoughts are, how could you say that? Look, there's you.
Yeah, I'm in here like 3 times.
That's good. I didn't see this article. So anyway, that's pretty much what happened, family. This week we got one sweep where I can go to that's in the east side on Tuesday. And hopefully I'll reach out to the people there and have some good footage. Hopefully, let's pray. Other than that, we're going to keep doing the work, and it's going to be, last week was kind of hectic because I had to do a class, and Jesse said I couldn't multitask. So I didn't get to participate in any of the events, which in my mind I should have, because I had a lot to contribute to that time, and I had a lot to say, and I experienced a lot of things that happened during this last 10 years with the police and the city. So, but this class was really important. I just said I couldn't multitask. So I had to sit still. Other than that, got a t-shirt out of it, and it's about that. Family, everything I've been saying over the last year, man, people have been saying it, and I just want to say it, like, nobody ever listens to me, and then just have to wonder, that finally my words are being said. I'm like, whoa. No one wanted to hear me when I was telling you about all the problems and the solutions and what could possibly happen and what they need, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And now look, I guess it just takes a different kind of face on the process. I don't want to say it's white face or anything. I'm just saying, anyway, so thank you for tuning in to Frontline Blacc News. Tomorrow, hopefully, we can do the revolutionary agenda where I delve deep into the Colorado Village Collaborative, and the tiny homes. So I got lots to bring to you, family. And I do want to talk about this transgender pregnancy thing. So I found another article that was like highly, highly crazy, and I want to look it up. But I guess transgender women are having babies we didn't know about in the Americas. Dun dun dun. So, and they're trying to kind of push women out, or what is it? Mothering's a function, something like that. So, lots to cover. So stay tuned. Also join us for Shabaka's Black Experience Enhanced on Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Another great edition of Frontline Blacc News on Saturdays at 10. Hopefully won't miss any more time. That was just a heavy weekend. Had to do it. And we'll be bringing you the news. Stay tuned for the local patrol.
Yeah. So thank you for tuning into season 2, episode 10 of the Frontline Blacc News. We will be back next week with a brand new episode. So make sure you stay tuned to that. In the meantime, make sure you check us out on frontlinecampaign.org, Frontline Blacc News on YouTube, The Revolutionary Agenda on YouTube, and Shabaka's Black Experience Enhanced on Blog Talk Radio. Peace, love, light, and Black empowerment.